Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming today. Today I'm going to tell you a short but unbelievable story of my past that is of true disbelief, complex pain, of trials, of struggling and suffering. This is about a young man that has overcome so much adversity, of condemned drama, of occurrences that has shaped him for an outstanding future and has not been totally decided yet. One future that will yield true and positive results. I stand here today having difficulty believing this story myself. That what I'm going to tell you is about my earlier years that happened while I was in high school. Now this happened while I was in my junior year of high school. All I can say is that this really did happen. Just right after my junior year of high school began, I became homeless. I don't want you to confuse homeless with living in the streets to my situation, because I wasn't living in the streets. I was homeless, but I was homeless in a different situation. My situation was temporary, but I had intelligence behind me that allowed me to sleep inside doors versus on the streets. Unbelievable as this may sound and may be, I was homeless for 7 long months. Now, this may sound like a soap opera drama to you people listening here today. To my earlier life story, and even more unbelievable to you, I was living with one of my aunts, her husband, and her very young daughter. They've been talking about moving for quite some time. They were talking about moving without me. They were talking about moving away, afar, some place that I would not be a part of. Reason being, I've never had a single idea why I was never a part of that, but all I can say is that I wasn't welcome. So, to begin, one day I came home from school in my junior year of high school, only to find my apartment empty, only to find that everything had been moved and gone, and I was left there all alone, homeless, without anything. All that was left were a few belongings. Those few belongings that were left behind were left in a pink plastic laundry bin. Now make note that after I got over the initial shock of everything being gone, I went down to the local dumpster and found a discarded, kind of clean mattress that I brought up to the abandoned apartment that was my home that I still had the key to, and turned that new mattress into my bed. Since I had been volunteering at the Museum of Discovery and Science, that new mattress was one that was going to become of great use, because I had to have sleep every night, because I had to continue my life while continuing to go to high school, while continuing to be homeless, while continuing to volunteer for the Museum of Discovery and Science. After so long, and after 2 years of volunteering for the Museum of Discovery and Science, I was offered a position of employment by this man here, Mr. Kevin Stratner, that offered me a part-time job because he was shown by me that I have exceptional working skills, exceptional volunteering abilities, and exceptional work ethics that yielded me that part-time position without question. Now, you guys, this may be hard to understand and hard to take in because it was for me, and it is for me telling this story, but I want you to understand 2 very unbelievable points that I must continue to make. Those unbelievable points are that as I was homeless, I now had a much greater problem. And that much greater problem is I had to deal with Hurricane Wilma that happened to have hit on October 24, 2005. When that hurricane hit, it left the building that I was in condemned, destroyed. And I had to stay there without toiletries, without water, without food, without utilities. And I had to reside in that entire condemned, abandoned building on my dirty mattress that was my bed for the 2 days that I was struggling to survive and ride out that storm while homeless. And to make matters worse, that wasn't even the worst part. The worst part was I hadn't even reached my breaking point. And what I mean by my breaking point is I didn't realize this, but when the building became damaged by Hurricane Wilma, I would now have no place to call home, even though I was homeless. I will now have to endure what it's like to live on the streets. And living on the streets is where my next home soon became. And that happened after I had to leave the building and I had to stay on the streets for several weeks until I finally had a collapse. And sitting with you today is Mr. John Heseltine, who listened to me and who was my co-worker at the time while I was working for the Museum of Discovery and Science. And he realized that something was wrong with me one day, and he said, "What is the matter with you, Frankie?" And I said, "I just can't take anymore. I give up." And I was crying to him while sitting down on two crates inside the Explorer store, and I told him my unbelievable story of disbelief, and I explained to him that I couldn't take any more, and I just had to find another way, find another opportunity. And by doing so, he was just shaken by what I had explained to him, and he said one response. He said, "Give me 24 hours. And with those 24 hours, he took that time to reevaluate my situation and to possibly offer me another avenue, another position in my life that would later yield to be my new home and my new friendship and my new father." And after 24 hours, he offered me my new home and within my new room, inside his home. So that's where I am today, and that's where I currently reside today as you're sitting here today. So, and because of John, he helped me make this positive change after so many negative avenues that I have gone down. He moved me in, and he helped me with another great change and another great struggle that I had to overcome. And that next struggle was not a negative one, but yet a positive one. And that was, he helped me graduate high school. And he helped me graduate high school on May 12, 2006, when I got to walk across the stage finally and be very, very proud of who I am and what I have to accomplish. And he's the reason why I'm in college today. That is those are the four unbelievable, remarkable things that have taken place in my life that have changed me. From being the kid that was abandoned to walking across the stage in college, to being that surprise kid that was left without anything but a pink laundry basket, to surviving and overcoming Hurricane Wilma while being homeless without food and water and a shelter. I realized that I can overcome any obstacle, and that's why I know I can overcome college today, and nothing can stand in my way. So in closing and in part, what is now pleasantly unbelievable to me is that I am back in college to finish my degree. But this you can believe because I'm talking to you while being filmed as a requirement for my prior college communications course. And believe me, I plan on writing a book about my unbelievable life experiences, including a negative one, but also the positive ones, like the perfect stranger taking a chance on me and taking me into his home to live. Perhaps the title might be Believing the Unbelievable in One's Life. And I hope that reading my book might help other young, struggling persons to both believe in themselves and believe in the faith that things will turn out okay in the end. Because I kept believing, and I do believe that things will get better and always will be better as long as we believe in ourselves, to believe in the greater good of those around us and the people that we bring into our lives. I really hope that you people listening to me today in my audience can begin to believe that this really did happen to me when I am finishing high school, and I am very happy and proud of me being here in college today, telling my story as part of my college course, because I want to share this story with as many people as possible. However, I am pleased to believe me that I am so grateful to help and receive in order to accomplish this and help those around me and help all of those that I can, show my grateful gratitude and appreciation of this for everything that I've accomplished in my life so far. Thank you so much, and I truly appreciate you listening to my speech, and have a wonderful day. Okay.